Hey patrons, it's me, it's Queen Auset-Heru, and today we are discussing wands. Okay? You've seen these before, I'm sure, all over the internet or in movies or something like that. And this one is, I like this one a lot. I love the snake that's on it. Isn't that cool? I love that. This is actually a Slytherin wand, and I'm a Gryffindor, but I thought this wand was hot. And then there's this one. So you may be asking yourself, okay, so what is the deal with these wands? Well, first of all, let me try to explain and clear up a little bit of confusion. In witchcraft and any paganism, craft, whatever you want to call it, we do use a lot of instruments. We use wands, we use athames, we use brooms, we use cauldrons, we use candles, you know. We have all these different things that we use in ritual. So some people use a wand in ritual because what will happen is you might cast a spell, for example, with your wand, and then you might, you know, rub it over the area, or it's so many different things you might end up doing with your wand depending on what the ritual is that you're doing. But you also have other wands that aren't necessarily used in magic. Like this one, for example. This is a wand that came to me from a Geek Gear subscription box, okay? This wand can be used in magic if you want to. In magic, you can use anything you want, really. But we have a tendency to try to use things that are natural. Okay, so if you were going to do a ritual, you could use this wand. The gods and goddesses would be fine with you using this wand, you know. I know a lot of people that use similar things, but it's got to be like a plastic or a resin or something. So it would be better to actually have something that was natural. These wands, these two here, these wands were really meant as collectibles. That's what they're for. They're to be collected by Harry Potter fans. This one is Slytherin house, and this one is doesn't belong to any house, but it came out in a Harry Potter box. So what's expected is that you'll collect these. You'll put them in a nice rack and hang these up somewhere. You know, you'll get your favorite character wand. Like I have Professor Snape's wand. It's not out here, but it's in the other room because sometimes I actually use it. So we have a tendency to use these as more of a collector's item. But if a person wanted a real, if you're a pagan, if you're a witch and you wanted to use this, you definitely can. Me personally, I use this one because this is real wood. So I like to use things that are natural as much as possible. I will use plastic, but I try to go with something that's crystal, something that's stone or wood first. And this is real wood, and the crystals are real crystals. Hematite, this red one looks like a garnet. This one looks like a citrine, a rose quartz, a sodalite, an amethyst, and a clear quartz. And on the ends here, we have two clear quartzes. So this is the kind of wand that most of us would use for actual real witchcraft. Because again, it's natural. And that's the only real difference between the two. You could, like I said, use this, but a lot of times in craft, they tell us to use natural things whenever possible. Most people that I know make their own wand. They go out in the woods, they get a twig, they strip it down, they might add some embossments or some embellishments to it, and that's their wand. Okay? So if you see these, you know, they have a wand for every Harry Potter character. There's Harry, there's Ron, Hermione, Professor Snape. I have Snape's wand. They have all kinds of them. So if you see those, you can see replicas, collector's items, toys, any of those things you might see. The collector's items, some of us do use in real craft. But for me, I technically gravitate towards stuff that's real. you know, real wood, real things like that. And what is it used for? It's used for all kinds of different rituals. Like people often think like, what do you do with that? Some people use metal wands as well. I've seen some really beautiful metal ones, but you can use all different kinds, but I would prefer wood, metal, stone, crystal. Those are the kind of wands I would gravitate towards. So basically you take your wand, and it depends on what spell you're casting. Some spells call for you to, you know, make inscriptions, you know, over a door, or, you know, over an altar, or make a protection symbol or something like that. So some people will use the wand for that, but you don't have to. It's completely, and this was made in Brazil, interestingly enough. It's kind of backwards, you might not be able to see it, but it was made in Brazil. But some people use them for things like that. So that's what the wand is for. And like I said before, you don't have to have any wand. You can use your finger. The same thing I just did with the wand. When I didn't have one, I used my finger, you know. I can go outside and get a twig and bless it and use that. So there's other things you can use too. I just bought it because I thought it was beautiful and it would be perfect for, you know, it would be perfect. I love the wood. I love the crystals in it, and I just thought it would be perfect for any kind of crafting I wanted to do. And like I said, some people use these and some people don't. I know some witches who don't have anything. They're not witches that actually do work like I am, but they use their mind. Some of them might use meditation, and that's it. So you don't have to have an altar and all these wonderful things. It depends on how you want to practice. Everything is customized in craft. It's kind of like Burger King. You can have it your way. So if you don't want to work with tools and objects, you don't. You do something else, you know. Everybody's a little bit different. Every tradition is a little bit different. Some traditions, they don't even have a wand, you know. They never even heard of it. They could use it if they wanted to, but they don't necessarily care about it or care for it, you know. So that is the wands. Let me show them to you one more time. This is the natural one that I use for real witchcraft. I love this. I just got it this year. I just adore it. This is the one from Geek Gear, kind of made out of a resin. Not a bad wand, but you can clearly see the difference in the quality of it, you know. And this one, again, really cool design on it. I thought that was decent. I love the snake on it and how it wraps around. But again, you can tell that it's kind of plastic or resin. It's hard, so I'm thinking it's resin. It's a beautiful design. It's a great wand. It's functional if people want to use it. And if they want to use it as a collector's item, they can do that too. I use these, that's why they're out here. I use these as props when I'm taking pictures of the card of the day or doing something for my Amazon finds. That's when I use these. So it just depends on what you want to do, but that option is always there. All right, patrons, that is my talk on wands. Come back soon because I love you to death and I got so much more to say. Bye, sweeties.